Hey guys, it's Bales. I'm at DraftKings and going to break down 4 qualifier lineups that I had from week 13. 2 here on DK, 2 on FanDuel, and going to run through it fairly quickly. I have a Grubhub order coming and the guy's going to be here any minute, so try to give you guys as much useful information as I can really quickly. So first 2 here were on DK it was a 5,300 mega qualifier. I had 2 lineups. You can see top 10 out of 135. So about 1 in every 13 or 14 lineups, maybe 8% chance, something like that, 7%, won a seat to the championship. I, very lucky, got 11th, $61,000 swing, seems reasonable. So that was not that fun. And I had another close one here on FanDuel. You can see right there, right outside the green, right where you want to be. So, yeah, the one that finished in 11th was, I think, a couple points back, little under 3. So this one, I used a Ryan Julio stack. That was my favorite stack of the week. Really liked Matt Ryan. And overall, I think that they actually, oh, you know what? 3 more yards from Ryan, I would have had the bonus and gotten in. Oh, it's even better. But I think they played pretty well, and then Julio got hurt and wasn't on the field. I think he was on maybe 40-some snaps with a turf toe injury that is always scary. So he had 9 points or something on the first drive, and it looked really good, and just didn't work out. He still had a fine game. Same with Ryan, but I think they played maybe a little bit better in the game than their fantasy stats show. But yeah, I thought that was. I didn't think Ryan would be 13%. I think I thought he was a sharp play, and obviously in a 5,300 like this, you're going to have pretty much all good players. So you can see that this lineup overall was super chalky, and the other one pretty contrarian. Did a similar thing on FanDuel. I'll show you. Went with Jeremy Hill, David Johnson. Just really hard to fade in any game at this point. Jeremy Hill was mostly because of the price and the workload at home, and didn't have a great game. Obviously did get bailed out a little bit by a touchdown. DGB got hurt. I knew he was going to be highly owned. I just thought that I think he was min-priced, $3K, and didn't think that I could get away from him in both of these lineups. I was actually going to play him in both and didn't. And so I didn't have any overlap just because the cost was so high and didn't really want to take on that much risk. But yeah, I think that I played Green Beckham in the championship last year on DK, and he had a really good game. I think I was one of 2 people out of the 180 or 200 in the tournament who had him. Malcolm Mitchell was one of my other favorite plays that I thought looked like on the surface that was a fishy play with him coming off of a couple big games out of nowhere, and but he's on the field a bunch, and I believe he was on the field the most out of any receiver, more than Edelman, more than all those guys in New England, and then with Gronk out. Yeah, I thought that was a good play. Loved it at 10%. And Jimmy Graham, obviously, he was the guy that I had going Sunday night, 15.6. Fine with that ownership. In this game, there really weren't a lot of attractive tight ends. You'll see I went with Eifert in a few. It was really between Eifert, Kelsey, and Graham for me. And so, yeah, he got benched because they were up by 33 there late, or else probably would have been a favorite, or at least a coin flip to get in, I guess, needing just like one medium catch. Broncos D, I loved at 10%. I thought they were going to be in like 20. This was my top defense of the week, so really happy to get anyone playing against Jacksonville, basically. Tyreek Hill, hate at 36. Didn't think he'd be in that many lineups, but again, it was a price 46, maybe 4,600. So that was that lineup that did well. This one finished in 80th, so bottom half. Went with Tyrod, which naked Tyrod, no stack. I was hoping he'd run, didn't really run, so did have a rushing TUD. Other than that, his game was really bad. Jordan Howard, probably, I didn't look at ownership yet at lower stakes. I imagine he was lower than this at lower stakes. It was snowing there a bunch, which I didn't think really. I don't think snow hurts any players really as much as people might think. But I really liked him a lot. Theo Riddick was kind of chalky, and I think he only had 4 carries or something, 2 rushing yards. Not that great. He's basically I consider him sort of a slot receiver there. And Anquan Boldin, I was going heavy on Lions there with Marvin Jones out. Kenny Britt, low ownership, same with Sanu. Britt I thought was fine. He didn't really have a catch, I think, maybe until like 5 minutes left, and then he scored a late touchdown, so got bailed out there. Sanu, I think, was just I didn't want to play him at all, and just ended up doing it. Didn't even do it with the Ryan stack, but ended up using him. I think he's a good player, but he's just not getting targets. Eifert caught a touchdown right before half. He was only 1.5%. When I saw he was only 1%, I knew he was a bit overpriced, but I was willing to take it on for the ownership. But I thought he was going to be around 5. So Seahawks, I think, were in a really good spot, and this was sort of like, if you think that they're only going to give up 7 points and they're going to blow out the Panthers, how often do they only score 8 points? So it's probably a bottom range of outcomes for them. Those were the lineups there. So not a good result given the cost, and not getting in there. Would have liked to have a second seat. But and then on FanDuel, I had also had the Seahawks late in my top lineup. Both of these finished pretty well, but this one right outside the cash line. I think I was 6 points back. I needed a late Seahawks touchdown, and I would have jumped in there. But Panthers were just running the ball late on the final drive there. Went with, you can see Jordan Howard here again. Le'Veon, same thing. Tyreek, Kelsey, who I said was the third tight end. I was talking about Eifert. So in these 4, I used Eifert in 2, 1.2% here. So I was happy with that, even though he didn't play that well. Hauschka, and I think I'm not sure where he was this low owned. And Aguayo, I think that's how you say his name. Maybe not. I knew it would be low owned just because the narrative is he sucks, and I think he's lost confidence. But it's very difficult to predict kicker performance. So I've been taking him a little bit just because those early misses and stuff have people off of him, and everyone just thinks that he's a really bad kicker. Golden Tate, he had a long touchdown there. Tyreek talked about. Larry Fitzgerald at 5%. I liked. He's getting a bunch of targets. I think he only has like one down game in terms of targets, maybe over the past month. And then I went with a Palmer David Johnson stack, which I've been doing a lot recently. I like that. I like that a lot just because he's throwing to David Johnson so much, and any game where they might get down, which is a lot of games now, I really like pairing Palmer with David Johnson. You can throw a receiver in there too. I could have had Fitzgerald in this lineup, but there's a really nice correlation play there that you don't, probably the top quarterback, running back correlation play in football right now. Theo Riddick again, Julio, Eifert talked about, Crabtree coming off of a decent game, I think a little banged up, and then price was down, so I'm not sure why the ownership was so low in this. This was it's either a $300 or a $400. It was a $400 buy-in, so it was sharp players again. So I thought that was good, and same with DeAndre. Although DeAndre is obviously, these might look like similar sorts of plays, but DeAndre's in an offense that's not doing well at all. So I thought that Crabtree, given these ownership percentages, was a much, much better play. They performed about evenly, and DeAndre did have a touchdown that saved his day. But DeAndre is a tough one right now because his price is down, and it looks like you want to roster him. I did it because I did think the ownership was going to be really low, but there is a lot of risk there that they just can't move the ball, and his efficiency is like, it's tempting to say, oh, this is going to regress, positively in his favor. I don't know that that's necessarily going to be the case. Patriots D. I've been using them all the time. A little bit over-owned here. Much prefer the Seahawks at those numbers. But I was looking obviously for teams that would be up, be able to bring down the passer, and quarterbacks that might make bad decisions. Not Cam as much, just taking sacks, but definitely with the Patriots there. So that was my thinking overall. Lots of money spent, good finishes in terms of the percentile. $0 returned, not good. So I will be in New York for the DK Championship with the one entry that I do have, and I'm sure I'll do a lineup review next week of that one. Hopefully $2 million richer.